Okay, Mirror's Edge, huh? We finally got to this masterpiece of a game. I was planning on doing a full speedrun of the game. Holy shit. Did
Lord
the
have
boys
mercy.
at EA
We
have a
must stay
field
focused,
day with
brothers. We
this one?
must.
Okay, there's a bunch of content around here, and I spent one whole whopping 2 hours to just complete the first level in a time that's actually pretty underwhelming now that I look back at it. You know what? Sub 520 is good enough for me, but we are pushing the 5 today. You might be like, what the fuck is this maniac talking about? Well, I'm talking about the hit game Mirror's Edge. Oh, did I say hit game? I'm sorry, I'm spouting fake information here. This shit is underrated. I see so many people saying it's actually not saying anything about this game. It's overshadowed by a lot of games like Dying Light when it comes to parkour, for example. And don't get me wrong, Dying Light one of my favorite games ever. But if we want to talk parkour, Mirror's Edge just fucking bodies Dying Light. But the parkour in the second one is more refined. Okay. I'm not gonna go into a rant here. I'm not gonna go into a rant. Just give me here. Mirror's Edge. Parkour is on the head. Perfect. So here we are, and we're gonna do a speedrun, right? I love Mirror's Edge, and I love this channel. Only 4 videos on it. But I haven't tried to combine them yet, have I? Well, today we are doing just that. We're gonna speedrun every single level. Not in this video, because I wanna actually make videos in a pretty okay time span, so, you know. So, we're gonna speedrun every single level by itself on the levels, on separate videos, and then we're gonna maybe try a full game speedrun. Don't count on me for that. Okay, that's just an assumption. I'm not sure that's gonna happen. So first levels first. It is called Flight. I believe, let me check real quick. Very professional recording right here. It is called Flight indeed. Now I gotta say, out of all the levels that I remember playing, this one is one of the more iconic ones. Fucking clean. Absolutely perfect as a beginning level to show you the ropes. That rat dying at the beginning to show you to not zap yourself on the fence. Masterclass. I think Respawn made this game. I'm not sure. Let me check. Again, very professional. No. It's developed by DICE. Sorry, I'm mixing them up. Again, I'm very smart. Very iconic. A lot of signs of what you need to do, but then again, actual kinda difficult to speedrun. Not very difficult, probably difficult for me because I've got a bunch of mental disabilities, but I tried my best. And as a 6-minute qualifying time, we actually got a 5:17.25, maybe. That is not even remotely close to how speed they can do it. No, fuck. How fast other people can do it. But it is actually quite fast for me. And in this video, we are actually gonna push it for 5 minutes. Not under 5 minutes, because I want to live. If we can try the under 5 minutes, let's fucking go. Now you might have noticed on the background, I've shown you the 5:17 run, but you know, we can't really complete it without actually analyzing. And I'm actually gonna analyze it because we need to see where we can improve. And I'm gonna make a little bit of a list so we can see where and how we can improve on the level, so we can actually maybe try to even come close to that 5-minute time. Okay, to start off with a couple of things, let's get the basics out of the way. It would seem that jumping is not really that fast of a way. It seems fast at first with all the lines in the air, you know, the post-processing shit, but actually while landing you actually seem to lose a bit of speed, so it's not very optimal. Also, climbing up stuff is very dependent on timing and distance from which you're jumping towards that wall or item you're trying to climb over. It sounds counteractive, but if you jump from farther away a bit with the right amount of speed, you actually get an animation where you climb a lot faster than if you were to jump a little sooner. Because if you jump a little sooner, you're actually gonna hit the wall and it's gonna be a more of a slow animation. Make sense?
No.
Okay, same goes for just jumping down. When you're jumping down something, you have to really calculate. This is where the part of memorizing the speedruns comes in, because you have to actually memorize if the spot you're jumping down to needs to be softened, or you don't actually need to soften the blow at all. Now remember, rolling to soften the jump might seem faster, it is slower. It is actually way slower. You lose the maximum velocity, okay? You lose it instantly, and you have to regain it back again. Now, here is one part where I see I have maybe a little spot to improve. There is a spot here right after the first elevator where I jump down from the railing, and I seem to like to roll after jumping while going on the ground. It doesn't look like you have to roll, and on some spots, they look taller, and you don't actually have to roll, so it's a bit deceiving because it's a game. But There is one spot right before the last elevator from this level, you know, the room with all the Berandillo Kruger guys. To jump on the roof to that room, it looks like a way smaller jump, so way smaller leverage, so you actually just have to, you know, do nothing. No, actually it would seem like speed accounts for this, not necessarily height only, so you can actually take fall damage from that, and I have killed a run just by that, a sub 520 run, or I think it was sub 530. So yeah, you have to be very careful at which jumps you decide to actually soften the blow or not. Another thing that I have tried to do is this dodging, as you can see. Let me put a disclaimer, I'm not sure it actually speeds you up in any way, shape or form. I was not using it to speed myself up necessarily. It's just sort of a counteractive thing to how the system works. Now let me explain a bit of how I think the engine works for Mirror's Edge. As you might have noticed, the longer you run, the more speed you catch up. But again, as you might have noticed, if for some reason turn very quickly, switch the view angle extremely quickly or abruptly, you lose the maximum velocity. Sounds about right? If you were to run in real life at, I don't know, 20 kilometers an hour and were to turn around immediately, you couldn't hold the speed. You'd have to slow down and then accelerate again. So it makes sense. So here goes two strategies to counteract that. First one, which is more simple and easier to not mess up, is to actually try to point your camera in one direction only and try and just keep the camera stable so you can actually hold this maximum velocity at a pretty okay optimal pace. The problem with this, you know, is that you don't usually have spots like this. As little of a game as it seems, it actually is pretty big and has a lot of tight corners and stuff. So you have to change directions and, you know, account for environment and try to jump on shit, so you can't really depend on that. That being said, let's go on to the second one that I found, dodging sideways. Again, I don't use dodging to speed myself up. I don't think it adds velocity. It might get you backed up maximum velocity, but I'm not sure about that. And the thing with dodging sideways, especially sideways, is that you can actually maintain that speed while also going in that direction. So you kind of turn instantly without having actually turn your camera and lose the maximum velocity. And if you manage to somehow do that while also turning the camera at the same time, you kind of counteract the problem with the losing maximum velocity. Right, you know, I'm talking this dodging stuff up like it's the perfect thing, but it is very weird, very maneuverable, but it can fuck you up very easily. If you don't know the timing perfectly, you can bump into a wall extremely easily. I fucked up so many runs just because of this. Extremely easy to fuck it up because you're not a pigeon, bro. You can't see sideways, so you might bump into a wall. Some other quirks that we're gonna talk about are the elevators, for example. I haven't tried something yet, and we're gonna try it later on to see if it's faster or not. But in my first runs when I was inexperienced, I actually just sat at the back of the elevator, losing a couple of milliseconds, maybe a second itself. The timer in the speedrun mode stops when you are in the elevator because obviously you really run while you're in the elevator. It starts while doors open, so if you're not, you know, on the spot ready for it, you're fucked. That being said, I'm not sure if you can actually skip these elevators. Yeah, the second elevator, the last one, actually has a little bit of a scuffed timing, and while after you've pressed the button you have to wait like a couple of seconds. But apart from that, the elevators are pretty linear. They're not very hard. You just have to, you know, stand close to the door like that. And for the last two quirks that I have found, let's talk about them real quick. First of all, sliding below obstacles seems to be below optimal. You should probably try to jump over them. It seems every time I've slid down something, it either loses me a bit of speed just because I'm sliding, or loses me a ton of speed because I get up and I fucked up the timing and I crawl a little. So jumping over it seems just much more intuitive, you know, so much more natural and easier to not fuck up. There's a ton of little quirks of making the jumps and, you know, actually jumping up to buildings and trying to speed up to get the right amount of speed to not trigger animations that slow you down, especially with climbing up stuff. Yeah, apart from that, I guess I just have to look for quicker routes. Also, there's this part at 1 minute and a bit where you have to go past a full corridor and there's police shooting at you. I've only managed one time to not be shot by those guys. You might be able to get past them before they're there. Thing is, in my 517 run, I got faster to the bridge part, and the guys actually shot me because I got there. I don't think they're supposed to shoot you. I think that's just an animation supposed to tell you, hey, there's a lot of police on your ass. It's not supposed to actually shoot you. So I think I got hurt by that and almost died. But apart from that, the level is pretty simple. So let's go on to testing some stuff and getting the sub 5. Sub 5? Did I say sub 5? Fuck no, we're not getting the sub 5. The 5 minutes, right?
there's been some heat on West Arland. Pope's place. I guess that's where you're headed, but be careful. Don't tell him what's going on there. You know he was running for mayor, right? Finally, someone who could actually make a difference in this place.
Thinking of taking the kids to the New Eden Mall this weekend? Then you need to stop by the Taste of New Eden restaurant for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even just a snack.
Shit!
Get out of that building, Faith. Move! SWAT swarming on you, Faith. Find a way out of there. Go! Should be an exit through the accounting office. That bird ain't playing around. Get your ass to the CEC News building. I'm finding you a way out. What the hell? Move, Faith. Yeah, you can breathe out. Damn, what a mess. Can't believe Pope's gone. Shit, man, this damn city. So you know him, huh? Well, you sure opened a can of worms on this one. Take the bridge across the avenue and head for Centurion Plaza. Picking up squad cars moving in on you. You ain't got much time. They're trying to surround you, Faith. Punch through to the plaza. They're trying to cut you off the head, Faith. Get through them, quick. You gotta push through to the plaza, Faith. There's a route through the tunnels ahead. Get some air in your lungs. You don't want to know what's behind you, Faith. Just keep running. Should be an exit off the rail overpass in the plaza ahead. Creek's heading to the other side to get you out. Blue's up ahead, kiddo. One at a time, remember. Head up onto the rail overpass. It's the only way through. You've almost lost him. Hatching Creek. Okay, let's get you out of here.
Holy motherfucking shit. God is so good. I've spent at least 5 hours into learning and putting this level inside my muscle memory, and this is one of the shortest levels in this game. I have completely underestimated how hard this challenge would have been. That being said, I'm not backing down. Fuck no. I'm going after burner mode. By the end of summer, I'm gonna try to finish this whole series because this is gonna take a while. A lot of levels are a lot longer. 7-minute level, imagine how much time I'd need to put in, probably a week. I need to put in just to even come close to that 7-minute consistent time. This doesn't mean I'm not gonna record any other videos until the end of summer or until the end of this series. Fuck no, we're gonna do a bunch of live commentary videos. But, you know, just keep coming back because we're gonna do this shit. And after this, Resident Evil 4 remake speedruns, I'm coming for you. Wow. I so underestimated this level. I underestimated it. It's so difficult, so hard. Maybe at one point or another we're gonna come back and try to do them with skips to see how much more time we can gain. Apart from that, yeah, this game just never ceases to amaze me at how beautiful it is. And the developers, I'm fucking sure you thought about speedrunning because which one of you motherfuckers put this little circle shit in front of me at the beginning?